Daily Dems, doing the work, making noise, and fighting back. Day 80. Yesterday was a school board election in Newark, New Jersey, and 16 and 17-year-olds were able to vote in it, which makes sense. They're the ones who are going to be most affected. And on her non-government account, LaMonica McIver posted about it. The Democratic slate won, by the way, against a MAGA slate. I've seen a few members of Congress getting involved in state legislative races, but this is even more local than that. Sydney Kamlager Dove has a new Is This Ish Legal? She asked Democratic Women's Caucus Chair Teresa Ledger Fernandez if it's legal for RFK Jr. to put a cap on NIH women health research funding. She asked Suzanne Bonamici if it was legal for him to fire EEOC Commissioner Jocelyn Samuels. Her job was enforcing civil rights law in the workplace. And finally, she asked Sarah Ulfreth if it was legal to cancel the USDA program that allowed schools and food banks to purchase food from local suppliers. And of course, the answer is no. None of this ish is legal. Mike Levin posted a new constituent stories. This is Luca, a parent in San Juan Capistrano. She explains the importance of the Department of Education to both her and parents like her across the entire country. Mark Pocan has a new episode of his podcast with Liberty and Justice for Some, where he interviewed Wisconsin AG Josh Kaul. It's a little peek behind the curtain about why the AGs are filing the cases they are, and the process of doing so. Chuck Schumer, welcome to the opposition. We are so thrilled to finally have you. So in the Senate, there is something called a blue slip. It's a tradition that allows the senators from the state that a given nominee will be working in decide if the nomination will go forward. Without a blue slip, it can't. And Schumer's denying a blue slip for the U.S. attorney nominees for the Southern and Eastern districts of New York. And Grassley has already said he's honoring the blue slip tradition, which means these two nominations are DOA. This is different than the other blocks and holds we've heard about so far. Those just slow the nominations down. But if at some point in the future the Senate wants to do a voice vote, they can get those nominees confirmed. In this case, this is a done deal. This is the end of the conversation for these two nominees. Jeff Merkley and Rand Paul wrote a letter to DT on April 1st, telling them that Congress did not give its okay for a war with Yemen, making these boomings very illegal. White House press secretary was asked about it today, and of course she lied. So Merkley is making it clear that it is still very illegal. And this kind of goes a little bit back to Signalgate, because the thing they were having the group chat about in the first place was illegal in and of itself. And finally, Chris Van Hollen is in El Salvador. He was told he cannot speak to or see Kilmer Abrego Garcia. He was told that U.S. tax dollars are paying for him to stay there. And he was told that even if he comes back at a later date, they can't guarantee that any of that would change. There are so many reasons this trip was important. One of the big ones being that this helps the lawyers a lot. Sorry, this is a really long video. Comment with a boom because we're not talking about Yemen enough. Our voices are a superpower, but only when we use them.